you have been doing nothing but writing this book, breathing this book, eating this book, sleeping this book, talking about this book.
Yes.
So why don't you give a good little plug here for everybody listening or watching before we jump into the rest of the content. Why should they buy a copy of Be Seen?
I wrote the book for the person that has a service, a story, a product, or even just a desire to get that service, story, or product to the masses. Whether that is like the masses meaning their community where they live and they just want to be known amongst the people around them, or they want to build a big personal brand online and they're too scared to start. Perfectionism is holding them back. They don't know the first thing to do. They don't feel ready. They feel like they'll do it tomorrow and then tomorrow never comes. And so that book is half strategy, half mindset.
Okay.
Because the mindset's the most important piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely.
For sure. Because no one's going to post anything if they're not feeling courageous enough to post it. And then mixed in with a lot of my stories of how I messed up along the way, what I did wrong, what I did right, a little bit here and there, in order to build a brand that now is finally, I feel, an authentic version. I know a lot of people throw around that word authentic, but I really do want to use it, version of myself, because I spent so long not being that.
Sure.
And now that I'm finally visible as that, my life has completely taken a turn and I've essentially created the life that I used to dream of.
Yeah. I love titles like this that pop, but also speak to the exact problem that the person's experiencing who needs to be reading the book to begin with, because it makes you feel a certain way when you say like you need to be seen, because there's a lot of people that just want to be behind the scenes. You know, they have a business or they have a product, they have a service, and they want to sell more of it, and they want to grow their business, and they want to hire more people, and they want to maybe pay their employees better, but they can't do any of those things because nobody knows about who they are, what they do, what their product or service does, how they solve the problem. They don't know any of that stuff, and they think that it's an option to not do that and still be successful. And at the end of the day, it's just like, you cannot be successful unless more people see you and your brand and your stuff.
Not only that, it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
On top of it. I mean, listen, if you have you've probably helped so many people with your podcast, whether you entertained them or you gave them an idea or you made them feel not alone. Could you imagine if you didn't make yourself visible to those people, they'd probably go listen to someone else, or maybe even like sign up for a different program or learn something that wasn't as good as what you had to say.
Sure.
So if you have a service or a story or a product, and it can help people, and you're not making yourself visible to those people, you're being selfish.
Yeah.
And
under the guise of being selfless.
Yes.
Right? Because that's like the story that you tell yourself is like, well, you know, I'm not Grant Cardone.
Right.
You know, like that he's too much, and then blah blah blah. And you tell yourself all these little stories that make you feel better about like remaining in this little box where nobody can see you or hear you. And then you struggle to make payroll next week.
Yeah.
It's like, well, where's the fun in that? You know what I mean?
There's no fun in that. And then there's also no fun in that feeling in your gut that's always telling you, oh, but I could.
Yeah.
Oh, but what if? Oh, tomorrow I promise I'll post it. I know or even scrolling and saying, I could do that.
Yeah.
And then not allowing yourself to do it because of fear of what other people will think of you. And this feeling that you just like represented so perfectly, where it's like, oh, I'm not Grant Cardone, all of that. That is all just fear coming in and telling you lies to keep you exactly the same and to allow you to hide.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When you start to tell that lie, yo, what's up, fear? I see you, I hear you, and you're BSing me, and I know what's up, and I'm going to take action with you there in the passenger seat of the car anyway, and you start showing up, you actually prove to yourself a lot of things that you probably needed to learn, which is that you are in fact worthy, that it does in fact work, that it's not as scary, that you're not going to die if you post a video or somebody thinks a certain way of you.